You're listening to Recovery Queen Melissa Presents Tales from the Trap. I'm your host, Melissa McMillan. I'm a recovering addict, a human trafficking survivor, and yes, a human trafficking convict. I spent 20 years living in active addiction, experiencing things most couldn't imagine. This podcast is where we tell the truth about the streets, about the system, about survival, recovery, trauma, and the people who never made it out. These stories are raw, real, and sometimes they're hard to hear, but you know what? They matter. This is Tales from the Trap. Hello, and we're back on Tales from the Trap. We are in a different room. Usually I'm in the basement, but we're up here now because I'm going to turn this into a podcast room.
I'm excited to help you get things.
ChatGPT wants to join. So yeah, this is my friend Shae Lyn. She is a loved one of an addict. She has experienced the fallout of addiction, especially the fentanyl epidemic. And I thought interviewing her would be great because it kind of shows a different perspective. Usually it's me talking or my family, and they do have, the loved one of the addict perspective, but she has children with addicts. So we're going to talk about that. And then if we have enough time, we're going to do like a little bit on domestic violence. And she's been through that shit too. So I thought let's have Shae on because she's been through some shit and she's only 25. So yeah. Anyways, so I have some questions. So Shae had, I guess you can just tell your story. So how did you meet AJ? So AJ is your third child, Cameron's dad, right? Your son's dad.
Ma'am.
And so how did that go down? When did you meet? How did you meet him?
Sound a little bit like a hoe, but it's okay.
That's okay. We're being honest and authentic and genuine. So
my oldest daughter's dad got out of jail.
Okay.
And came for a couple visits and brought
AJ. Oh, okay. You have a type. You have a type.
Clearly.
I know you have a type. Yeah.
Bad
so do I. I have a type too. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that's how you met. And then how long were you guys like seeing each other dating before you got pregnant with Cameron?
I think like a month and a half.
Okay, so we're going to start going into the questions. So when you first met your son's dad, what drew you to him? He's cute.
Yeah, honestly, it was his big eyes.
Yeah.
I loved his eyes.
Yeah.
They're my favorite. But also, I think it was his confidence that he originally had that was my favorite. Because I was used to can I say Ava's dad?
Yeah, you can say their names if you want to. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'm used to Anthony, who had no confidence.
Yeah.
So I liked that, but yeah.
Oh no!
No,
the confidence. So this is Everly. There she is. So we're gonna have to do some babying. We thought that was gonna happen. That's okay though. So, oops, sorry. Okay, so big eyes, confidence, and then when did you start noticing red flags? Like, did you know he was an addict when you met him?
No.
Okay.
That part I did not know until, till I was pregnant.
Swallow that spit. It's just a little spit up. Nothing. Oh, no, This is off the fly, babying, unfiltered, uncut Tales from the Trap. Okay, so you didn't know. What made you figure it out?
When I had kicked him out for the night because he made me mad.
Okay.
And he came back. The kids were gone. They were visiting my mom for the weekend. And he came back and got high out of his mind in my house.
Really?
Yep. And then,
So, did you talk to him about it? Did you ask if he had a problem, or did you already know he had a problem?
I honestly didn't ask him, but I kind of assumed that he did because he came back and it wasn't like he was high on perks or anything. He was high on fentanyl.
Right.
So I feel
so you knew that it had progressed to a point where he's using fentanyl. That's that's not just
that's not just
that's not exactly. Yeah, exactly. So how did you first realize he had relapsed on fentanyl? So it says that looking back now, that time he did in jail, did that play a role in his addiction, and the behaviors that followed? Because can you tell us about him being in jail?
Well, from what I found out after he had died, I guess he was somehow getting stuff, like he was like smoking weed and stuff, but he was also apparently somehow getting fentanyl sometimes in jail. And that's when he had started, I guess, but I think he was like snorting it.
Okay.
In jail.
Right.
But I didn't know that until after he had died. Otherwise, I wouldn't be like, come on.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And did it anyways.
Yeah. I feel you. So so can you take us back to December 22nd? What was going through your mind when you had to do CPR to save him? So start from the beginning. What happened the night before?
So that was when the kids were at my mom's for a couple nights visiting. She had taken just like, Ava and Claire. And I was...
You got to start barfing on camera. Like, right? You don't do this. Like, what is happening? God, Everly. I know we're talking about fentanyl, but damn, you don't have to barf everywhere. Jesus. Okay, so the kids were at your mom's.
Yeah, and I was...
Had you found out you were pregnant with Cameron by that point?
No.
Okay. So he died not knowing.
Yeah, he
so he did know.
Yeah,
Okay.
But that was when I had gotten like some medication from the doctor because I was having a hard time sleeping.
Okay.
And that was the first day I took it.
Right.
So I was exhausted, and I guess he was smoking the stuff like in my room when I was asleep, and I had actually woken up to him falling off the bed because he was overdosing, and it scared me because he fell off and I heard him fall off the bed. And then I was like, what are you doing? But he was like hunched over so I couldn't see his face. And I'm like, babe, what are you doing? And I grabbed his like head and I pulled it up back. And I realized, and I was like,
did you Narcan him?
God, no, I didn't. I never had
You didn't know?
I had Narcan. I didn't even know what it was.
Right.
Until after that.
So what happened?
I had pulled him back. And I immediately called 911, and that lady was really nice. And she's like, hey, just breathe. She relax. She can eat him on a flat surface. I'm like, he's on my dog's bed. She's like, you got to move the bed. That motherfucker wasn't big.
He was dead weight. Yeah.
Heavy.
Yeah.
So pulling the big-ass dog bed from underneath him was hard. I was freaking out.
Yeah.
And then she explained how to do CPR. And I had to do that until the paramedics came. But then I had to run down and unlock the door. I was like, can I stop CPR and unlock the door? I'm like, because otherwise they can't get in. And she's like, yeah, just go as fast as you can. So I ran down the stairs and unlocked the door and came back up and continued doing it until they came in. And
so this is not the overdose that he passed.
No.
There was multiple?
Yeah, this is the first one.
Okay.
And then after this is when
because he had been clean for a bit? Is that why?
Yeah, after that he got clean. I said, like, if he wants to come home, he can't be doing that.
Right.
I mean, he can't overdose. I'm like, what if the kids were here?
Right.
I'm like, you can't do that. So then he had gotten clean after that. He was sick for like 3 days because he wasn't doing it for long. He was only doing it for like a week, I think.
Jesus.
Guess. And at first he was like leaving to go
to do it
until like the kids were visiting my mom at first.
Right.
And then he had gotten clean, and yeah, I thought
that was that.
Clean. I thought he was just clean for good.
Right.
Apparently not.
So you did feel hopeful after that first overdose.
Yeah, and I think at first he realized how scared I was because I think it was like a week later. He was looking for something under my bed, but he was like kneeled over almost the same way he was when he fell off. And I went upstairs and I seen him like that, and I instantly panicked. And he's like, I'm fine. But I had like a panic attack because I thought something was wrong
again. Yeah.
And I was hoping, especially seeing how like traumatized I was from that, I was hoping he wouldn't do it. But I mean,
they're addicts. Yeah,
like,
they're addicts.
Like, oh, it's okay. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, so when did you finally realize that he had relapsed? Oh, no, never mind. That's okay. On January 18th, 19th, what do you remember most vividly about the night that he passed in the morning? So what? Take us back to the night before.
Well, the night before, Dre actually was visiting.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
The other baby dad.
Yep. And it was Dre and like 2 other friends were visiting, and we're all hanging out. But that's when I was pregnant
With Cameron.
Yeah, and I think that might have been. No, that's not when AJ told him, but like they all knew. So I said, I'm going to bed. Like I'm exhausted. I don't feel good. I'm like, okay. And then I guess AJ, for some reason, he got really insecure by the end. And I think he might have thought me going to bed, I was like texting other guys or something.
Okay.
So he kept coming up. And then he's like, I'm just going to tell them to leave. And I'm like, you don't have to tell them to leave. Like, you guys can sit down there. I'm like, I want to sleep. I'm tired. And I was like, or at least Drake can stay because he said he was going to sleep over anyways.
Right.
He's like, no, I'm going to tell them all to go. And I'm like, okay. And then that night, he was doing like hydros, I guess.
Yeah, hydromorphs.
I didn't see him do them, but
snorting them or shooting them.
Snorting them.
Okay.
But I didn't know that until later on in the night when he admitted it.
Right.
I didn't see him do it.
Right.
But yeah, he was doing those, and then after a bit is when he told like Dre and the other 2 guys
to leave,
to just go home, saying we're both gonna go to bed. And then yeah, then we ended up getting up again
and staying up, right?
Yeah, and we stayed up until
late.
I want to say like 1 or 2 in the morning, I think. And it's crazy because I still remember I have a picture of my dog, and the timestamp was like 1:02 a.m. or something. And that's how I know it. Like how I remembered that we stayed up till 1 or 2 in the morning.
Right.
And I'd woken up. I don't even know what time it was. Still dark. And he was sitting up, and he looked sad. I'm like, what's wrong?
He was crying. Yeah. Right? Yeah.
And I'm like, what's wrong? He's like, oh, nothing. And I'm like, tell me what's wrong.
Yeah.
And he's like, nothing. And I'm like, okay. And I fell back asleep because I was exhausted. And you're fine. And the next morning,
you're good.
I feed her.
Yeah, of course, okay. Of course.
You
okay, sorry, we had to do a breastfeeding maneuver. Yeah. Okay, so he's crying, and you're like, "What's wrong?" And he won't tell you.
Yeah, and then I said, "Okay," and I fell back asleep. And then it was 10, like just after 10
in the morning.
Yeah, I had woken up first excited. Because it was my birthday.
Well, yeah. Oh my God. He passed on her birthday.
And I had woken up and I was like, like I was in panic. But at first I didn't know why. And I was like, okay. And I went downstairs thinking he's downstairs and he's going to be like, happy birthday.
Yeah.
And I went down and I seen him on the floor and I was like, what the heck? I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, babe. And I went over and touched his foot. But it was like.
Rock hard.
Yeah. He
was gone. He was gone.
A bit. And I was like, oh my God. And I ran upstairs and got my phone and called. And the guy's like, well, is he breathing? I'm like, he's blue. I'm like, no, he's not breathing. And he asked me like 3 times, well, can you flip him over? I'm like, no. But I feel like I probably could have flipped him over, but it was like my body.
As if you were going to do that, though. I wouldn't have been able to.
I was trying, but it was almost like I wanted to because like my brain wasn't letting me flip him over.
Yeah. You didn't want to see. You didn't want to see.
And that was scary enough. And the guy
hung up on you, right? Dispatch.
Yeah, I was crying, and he hangs up. He hung up on me.
That's Sudbury, Ontario for you.
He was crying. And
because she found the father of her child dead on the fucking floor from fentanyl overdose, and he fucking hung up on her, bro, on her birthday. Like, what a shit show. Okay, so you can't turn him over. You call back?
No.
They called back? Or did they just show? You went outside?
Yeah, because I had opened the door because I heard the sirens coming anyway.
Right.
And I went outside and I was freaking out. And they almost walked past my house.
The house.
I was like, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
here. Yeah.
And then they came in and made me stand outside. But I just remember it was fucking freezing because it was middle of January. And I just stood there and waited. And they were in there for, I think, like 45 minutes or something, trying. And then I got mad at them because they weren't hurrying up.
Yeah.
And I still remember some big-ass firefighter came out. And he's like, I just want to give you an update. He's still no breathing. They can't get a pulse. And little me yelled at the guy. And I whipped my phone. And I'm like, don't fucking tell me that. Don't fucking come back out here unless he's breathing. And the guy's like, I'm sorry. Just turned around and walked away, and because I was yelling, I was like half of his size, and I felt bad for yelling afterwards.
Well, obviously,
I think he understood that.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah. So
then what happened?
And then after a while, they had
So the firefighter comes outside, says, and it was about 45 minutes later that they had been working on him, and nothing, no pulse, no breathing. And then you flipped out, you threw your phone.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
And there was one girl firefighter, I wish I knew her name, but she was honestly really nice, and she stayed with me like the whole time. Yeah, even when I was freaking out, pacing everywhere, she just stayed where I was.
Right.
And then when they had brought him out, two neighbors were outside with me.
Jess and Christine?
Christina?
Yeah. One at the end, yeah.
Yeah. And they were there with me.
Holding you back, right?
Yeah, because when they brought him to the ambulance, I yelled and I said, I'm going with him. And they're like, no, you can't. I'm like, move out of my way. I'm getting in the ambulance.
Right. And why would they say you couldn't? Because he was dead.
Yeah, I think because of
he was dead.
How he looked and they knew he wasn't.
Yeah.
Living, but I didn't care.
Did you see him?
I kind of seen him a little bit. But I was they kept me far enough away, like by they're not gonna know, but you'll know, by like the end of the back fence when there used to be 3. So it was a lot farther, and they came out like the front door. But yeah, and then that big firefighter that came out and gave me the update, when I was trying to get to the ambulance, he came and stood directly in front of me, but like turned around, and then I got really angry because I couldn't see anything. But now I know it probably because
it was bad.
I shouldn't have seen what he looked like.
Yeah.
At the time, I just didn't care. I was like, they're taking, at the time, my favorite person, and you're in front of me. Like, move out of the way, please.
Yeah.
But I didn't say it that nice because I yelled at him again.
Right.
And he probably was not a fan of my yelling.
Oh, wow.
Whatever.
So they put him in the ambulance, and then what?
And then I got mad because they weren't driving very fast. They just kind of took their time, which obviously if they know he's dead, they're not going to rush.
Yeah, did they tell you he was dead?
No. It was, I want to say an hour or so later is when I was sat at Christina's actually, and we all were sitting over there. Dre came too because I didn't know who else here knew him, and I wasn't going to. I actually texted my mom, and I was like, I'm not coming to my birthday supper. AJ died. That's how I told my mom, and she called me, and she's like, what the fuck? She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, just come to the house, please, because I'm not explaining it on the phone. And then, yeah, it was like an hour and a half later, the cops came and told me. And I already
the cops
knew.
did?
Yeah, I already knew, but me hearing them say it made it seem like it was real, and I didn't like that. And I honestly, for some reason, ran away. I ran towards
to the store. Yeah, I heard this story before.
And yeah, then the cop came, and then they asked if I wanted to tell his mom, or if I wanted them to, and I'm like, I cannot tell, because I had called her
and let her know what happened.
I'm like, because the first time he overdosed, I told her, and I remember on FaceTime with him, she's like, you gotta quit. She's like, or I'm gonna be planning your funeral.
Oh,
and then
Jesus,
like 2.5
poor
weeks
Amy.
later, she's planning.
Oh God. And she's such an amazing woman, man.
She's like my favorite
like she takes not only her grandson Cameron, but she takes the other girls too for like weeks at a time in the summer, and she's always helping with whatever. Like, she's amazing. She really is. She didn't have to be that way,
right?
You know what I mean? Like,
even with Everly,
I know.
She's like, I can't wait to take Everly.
I know. Like, it's crazy. You're very lucky that his mom was her. Yeah, Amy's great. So the cops called Amy and told her?
Yeah, and then she called me, and I guess she didn't know I had known already. So she called me, and she's like, he's gone, Shae. And I'm like, I know. And then hearing her cry, I couldn't, because I was already freaking out. And I feel bad, but I hung up. But I think she knew.
Yeah, obviously.
Listen.
Yeah. Of course.
And then, yeah, then I had to sit there for another 2 hours because I had to investigate, because he died there, so I guess I had to investigate the house or something. And then, yeah, afterwards I had to go back home.
So I don't know if you want to talk about this, you can say you don't, but did child protection give you a hard time?
Actually, the worker that I had
oh, because they were already involved?
Yeah, because of
the domestic violence with Joe?
Yeah. So she had actually come, and she came, brought me a coffee, and let me sit in her car and cry. And because I guess when he had died, there was blood on the floor, and afterwards I learned they said that like it's because it comes out of his
It comes out of his nose, yeah, in his mouth, yeah.
So she actually went in. It was her, Dre, and I think one other person. They had actually went in.
It was
cleaned
Jess.
everything up. Yeah,
it was Jess.
They had cleaned everything up.
Yeah.
Before I had went home. So and she actually sat with me the whole time as almost like a friend instead. She's like, none of this. She's like, any of this, I'm not gonna like report it, whatever. She's like, just pretend I'm here as your mom's friend. And I was like, okay. But
fuck.
yeah, she was my favorite actually. But
okay, so we're gonna go on to the next relationship. So AJ dies and Dre's his best friend, right? And you knew Dre was an addict. Did you?
I didn't. The only thing I knew was that he liked drinking like lean sometimes.
Yeah.
But like
but like he was never honest about any of that stuff.
Well, he honestly didn't even do fentanyl until like we were already together when he tried it the first time.
So, how was your relationship before the drugs?
For the most part, it was pretty good, but it was also different.
He was in a lifestyle that wasn't made for a wife and kids.
Yeah, and then it was different when the kids, because he'd come over, like if we had the kids at the house, and it was like a completely different person than, like, not saying he was a complete dick before, but
no, like, he was good with the kids.
We were different. We did different things when the kids weren't around.
Yeah,
that obviously would never do when the kids are around.
Right,
that
right.
It's not like I'm doing drugs.
No, you were trapping. You were trapping. You were trapping. He sold dope, and you were trapping. Yeah, she's not an addict at all. So, how did you find out he was using fentanyl, and how long were you guys together before?
I want to say we were together like a year and a half, I think.
Before it started.
He did it. And he actually did it when he took, what are they called? Like PAMs or whatever. Yeah. And when we're out of town, something upset him. And then he got like really pissed off. And then he ended up trying it there. And I freaked out and I was like, please don't. I'm like, we're in the middle of freaking nowhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I don't need to lose another person.
Yeah.
I'm selfish, but that's what I said.
Well, obviously. And he, like...
And I was like, please don't.
Knowing everything you'd been through. Like, it's very crazy that he started it.
Yeah, and that surprised me that he did it. And even when, like, the first time he did it, he's like, I'm sorry that you're here. I'm sorry that you're taking care of me. And I'm like, yeah, I'm watching you because I don't need to wake up to another person.
Right.
I'm like, so I'm not sleeping.
What was it about Dre that made you fall in love with him?
Part of it was how he was with the kids.
Right.
Honestly, I love it.
I know. He's good with the kids. I love Dre.
And he just, like, yeah, he has his issues.
He has issues, but he had he has a very good person. Like, when he's good, he's good. Mm-hmm. You know, like from the minute I met him, I wanted to help him because I watch him when he's good, and it's like, you guys are so good, you know?
And when he's good, we're almost like, for the most part anyways, almost like the same person.
Yeah, you guys you jive very, very well. Mm-hmm. So when did you first realize he was using perks, and how did that change your relationship?
That was probably like a year into us dating, I think.
So the perks came before the fent?
Yeah. That honestly wasn't a problem at first.
And you were using them too a bit, right?
Sometimes.
Let's be honest. You were using them every once in a while. But let's talk about how you realized. We talked about this last night.
Yeah.
Because you were going through a pretty dark time. You had just come out of a horrific domestic violent relationship where she was hurt. Her kids were hurt. Mm-hmm. And then she loses AJ. She had some child protection involvement. And you were trying to escape it. And there's nothing wrong with, you know, having a dark time. But it also made you realize that it'll fuck up your entire life.
Yeah, it probably
And you stopped.
easily could have.
Absolutely, because it feels like a hug from Jesus.
That's literally
right. It's like
what I told my sister. I said, you don't feel anything.
No, you don't feel all the shit. Like, fuck, being sober is not fun, bro. I wish I could do perks.
What I enjoyed.
Right. Yeah.
The kids weren't with me. Like, obviously I didn't lose custody.
No, but you had child protection involved, and they went and stayed with your mom for a bit, and that happens to so many people. And none of it was your doing. None of it was Shae Lyn's doing. It was the men that she had brought into her life, which happens so commonly. Like, we all do it. I did it. She's 25. Remember that. Okay. So what was the shift from perks to fentanyl like? And what caused that shift?
It was, I'm trying to remember why he did it.
Because it was probably just more readily available.
Oh, because when he took the PAMs, he was forgetting everything.
Oh,
he had hid his shit that he was selling.
Right.
And he kept moving it. And the last time he moved it, he wouldn't tell me where it was. And I'm like, you need to tell me where it is, because I'm completely sober. I will remember where your shit is.
Yeah.
And he kept moving it. And the people where he was staying at, he hid it somewhere in their room, but didn't tell me where. And their room was full of random shit. And I'm like, yo, I'm not going in their room and looking for it.
Right.
And I guess they had known he hid it in there. And then they're like, no, it's not in here.
Oh, God.
And then he got pissed off because now he can't make money or anything. And that stuff was already there because they were doing both.
Yeah.
So he decided to try it. And I guess after trying it, he realized he liked it. I guess. I mean, I've never done it, so I don't know what it's like. But I mean,
it's like perks times 10. It's like fentanyl is, it's like perks times 10. Okay, so let's talk about what happened with Dre. So we got him on methadone last summer, and what happened from there?
He went on methadone and then
got on the shot, right?
Yeah, then slowly went to like Suboxone, and then
he did the slow taper. Yeah,
he was good for like
a while, months.
Yeah.
So I had been trying to get Dre on a program I've been here almost 3 years now. And I've been trying to get him on a program forever. Like, I would take his dope, leave it here so he can only do it, like, so he doesn't use it all and he wouldn't be sick the next day. There was many, many times, where we just wanted him to get better. So I took him to the clinic. He was great. He was happy. He was on it. And then he did the switch to the Suboxone and then finally the Sublocade injection. And, he seemed great.
Yeah, he was doing really good.
So then Everly is born. He's there. He's supportive, loves his little baby girl. And then what happens? Those two guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
One was his friend. One was just his friend's friend, I guess.
Yeah.
They had come because they had got kicked out and decided hanging out at my house is a place to be.
Yeah, so they were like living in a tent.
Yeah, and like
close by,
somewhere.
And then they would hang out at your place to like.
Yeah, they're like, "Can we charge our phone?"
Yeah,
and then Dre's like, "Come charge."
Yeah, Dre is very come. Yeah,
and I'm not.
Yeah,
I don't like people.
And we talked about like were there overdoses with Dre?
I think there was one. In the car. That part. I feel like it was because he wasn't waking up, but I also kind of feel like a dick because
you Narcaned him.
Yeah. But I was just scared,
obviously,
because I knew at the time the stuff that was going around
was really
everybody up and
killing people. Yeah.
So when he wasn't waking up, it scared me.
Yeah.
And with AJ, he was white as paper, so you could easily tell when his lips.
But Dre's a person of color, darker. So it's hard to tell.
Yeah, I didn't want to sound racist, but I couldn't.
You couldn't tell. Yeah,
so I got scared.
Yeah,
it wasn't really. He was like, because I remember AJ was doing that short, super short, shallow breathing kind of.
Yeah,
and Dre kind of was, but I knew sometimes when he was just high, he'd still like have slower breath. But I got scared and Narcaned him anyways, so. I could say yes.
Yeah.
But
There were a lot of times, like last summer, when there was that Fent with the benzos going around, where he was hallucinating and like he was like sleeping, but like if you're a fentanyl addict or an opiate addict or PAM addict, you know that you get high and then you're on the nod, but you're awake and you're talking to people, but you don't know what you're doing or what you're saying. And there were times where he was here like that. He was at your mom's at one point like that.
Oh my God, yeah.
And like Shae Lyn's trying to support him, but also not have her family know what's going on, right? So
Yeah.
it was horrible for her. So these guys come, they're staying with you, or not staying with you, but like hanging out, and you knew the drugs were back involved, right? Like, did you figure it out?
I honestly didn't know until
He admitted it to you?
yeah, well, he didn't even admit he did anything. He said one of the guys did a line or something in the backyard, and I said, "Why would you allow that?"
Yeah.
It made me mad. I'm
Yeah.
like, "Why would you do that?"
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until after he was gone, when one of the guys that was here, he had messaged me, and he's like, "No, he smoked stuff like crack with whatever the fucking other guy's name was." And I'm like, "Why?" I'm like, "Do you realize he was clean until you guys showed up?"
Yeah.
He's like, "I didn't even know." I'm like, "That's how you know you're not a good friend. You didn't know he was clean for months, and you fucked everything."
Months.
Obviously, he was great choice to do it.
Yeah,
too,
but like
when
you don't
seeing somebody do
you
it,
don't okay, so this friend of yours has 3 kids and a brand new baby and a wife, and you think your drug addict ass is going to make things better over there? Like, what are you thinking? And like, I remember getting up and like seeing them on your front step using, and I'm just like, what the fuck? No, I know it was 6 o'clock in the morning. Oh, I know. They would literally like come out of the tent, go sit on your step early, and I'm an insomniac, so I'm always up, and then I would see them and I'm like, I bet you she doesn't even fucking know that's happening.
We didn't even know. So some days Dre would be like, "Oh, maybe just like not." I even said, "I'm like, use me as an excuse." They bugged me.
Yeah, bro.
I'm like, I can't. I'm already exhausted.
Yeah,
she was like
brand new. Yeah,
and I'm like, I'm exhausted. I don't want more people. I'm like, I don't even want my family around half the time because I'm tired and I'm not trying to be a dick.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so what prompted him to leave?
We had honestly gotten into an argument because I think the one guy, because I heard Dre and the other guy talking, and he's like, "Oh, just put her under the bathroom mat," and I'm like, "What the fuck?" And the one guy went upstairs, and all of a sudden Dre went up right away, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" And I got mad. I'm like, "I'm not stupid." I'm like, "Don't lie to me, please." And then he got all mad and pissy, and he's like, "Well, I know you're not fucking stupid." And then he got really angry, and I'm like, "Whoa!" I'm like, "Why are you talking to me that way?" And then he ended up, I got mad. I went for a walk because I wasn't trying to have everybody and their dog hear me fucking get mad. So I went to the park, called my friend, and then I came back probably like 10 minutes later, and he had packed his bags. His friend had grabbed PlayStation or whatever that was there, and they left. He's like, "You're never seeing me again." He came back the next day, admitted that he had, like, the night before he had smoked fentanyl again. I got upset. I was like, "At least think of her if you can't think of yourself." And he made it seem like he was staying home. But then he said that he only came back for a place to sleep and to call his mom, and then he was leaving. And then I didn't see him for, well, I technically seen him twice, but didn't have a conversation with him or actually like sit there with him for a month until he just showed up one day at like 9 a.m. a month later, looking completely different.
So when he showed up, what happened? He looked really bad?
Yeah, you can tell he was using, obviously, for when he was gone for a month, to probably one of the worst buildings here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he apologized for leaving and asked if I'm okay and everything, and I was like, "No,
obviously I'm not okay. I just had a baby and you fucking left me." Yeah.
I'm like, "She's 2.5," because he left when she was a month and a half, and I'm like, "She's 2.5 months old now." I'm like, "You
is this when we saw him the other day or before? Because
no,
there was 3 different times, right? You saw him at the store.
He had left June 22nd, and then it was like June 23rd was when he came and used the phone.
Right.
And then I seen him walking once. That's when he gave me the letter.
Right.
For
Everly.
And then I seen him at the store.
Let's talk about the letter. What did the letter say?
Basically saying he wants to see, like, it was to her.
Yeah, it was to her.
Basically saying that he wants to see her one day, hopes her and her brother and sisters get everything they want in life, and that he's like, people like me either die or go to jail. And it made me sad. That's when I felt bad for him.
Yeah.
But then when I seen him like a week later, or not even a week later, I think it was like 5 days later at the store.
He had changed and was like, I don't want nothing to do with it.
He had new everything.
Yeah.
I'm like,
you fucking piece of shit. Yeah.
I'm here taking care of 4 kids alone, struggling at the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you got new everything, going to the store, trying to get more money from somebody.
Yeah.
And then walk past. I was holding her, walk past us like, oh, you're a stranger. Just
didn't even see you guys.
Didn't even know who we were, but he knew we were there.
Obviously,
he said two words, and I was like, "What about your kid?" He's like, "Yeah, I love my kid." And I'm like, "Then what the fuck?" I'm like, "Then why'd you leave?" And then he went in the store, and by the time he came back out, we were still standing right there. He was in the store for 2 seconds, and then he just walked past us like we weren't standing there.
Jesus. And then, hi, you're awake. And then he threw money in the window a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it was, I guess he knocked on the door, but I was putting laundry in, so I didn't hear it. But the dog barked. And then I had seen his hand just real quick put $40 in the window. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, who's throwing money? Like, I'll take it. But like,
yeah. And sorry, Everly.
I know. She's like, Tracy, you got it now. And then I had opened the door and I seen him going to walk away with 2 of his friends. And I'm like, hey. And he turned around and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
And then we talked for a second, and then I was like, yo, come back when the kids are in bed and we'll sit outside
and we'll talk.
Have a conversation.
Yeah.
And then he's okay. And then he didn't come back until
month later.
2.5 weeks later, I think.
This time where we just saw him? Okay. Okay.
When I seen him last.
So we'll talk about that. We were all sitting outside and I thought I saw him walk by. So I texted her right away. And then so did the other girl, our friend Dawn, that was sitting with us. And then all of a sudden he comes back. I guess they talked in the back. You guys talked in the backyard.
Window and was getting the kids ready for bed.
Yeah. And then he came over, or he asked you, like, if I go and talk to Melissa, will she talk to me? Like, is she mad at you? Mm-hmm. Is she mad at me? And you were like, well, no, like, she's mad that you left, but she's not mad. She doesn't hate you. So he came over and he's like, if I come home, will you fuck with me? Like, if I get better and I jump through the hoops that I need to, like, will you fuck with me? And I was like, bro, I will always fuck with you. Like, I love you. But seeing him that way, like, I've seen some shit. I fell into IV cocaine addiction really fast, really hard. And I've never seen someone look that bad. He literally, like, he's always been a skinny, lanky kid, but he literally, like, his face looks like a skull with just skin over top. Like, his eyes were really big, like, sunken in. He's got an infection in his knee that he had just came out of the hospital and left the hospital, he had said. So he was really adamant that I just need money to get well and I'll be back tomorrow. And I'm like, well, I gave him a fin or something. And he said he was going to come back. I'll be back by 5:30. I'm going to go on methadone again. Like, I'm going to do what CAS tells me to do to see the kids, and never came back. Yeah. Oh. Okay, so how do you explain the absence of Dre to the kids and where he is?
Well, the girls were honestly kind of used to when he'd leave last year,
right?
Like when he'd go and use, like, at the building,
yeah. So, and he'd be gone for a couple days at a time.
Yeah, I think the longest he was gone was like 3 days. Or
something. Yeah. Nothing like this before. This is not common. And that's what's so scary about it.
Right?
I know.
And so I honestly just say, I don't know where he is, because
you don't know what to say. You don't know where he is.
And
did they still ask about him?
Yeah, Claire brought him up 2 nights ago, I think. She's like, I miss Dre. And for Claire normally.
Yeah, Claire and Dre butt heads a little bit. Yeah.
So her saying it, I realized she was actually pretty upset.
Yeah.
Normally, like, oh, you're mean to me? Okay.
Yeah.
She'll be nice to me, and that's
yeah.
it.
Yeah. Cameron,
He,
because he calls him daddy, right? He calls him dada.
yeah, he keeps saying, "Oh, Dada, come."
Yeah.
He sees his clothes and he's like, "Oh, Dada's." And I'm like, yeah.
Fuck, man.
But to him, I don't know what to say because he's only 2.
He's a baby, yeah. Yeah.
I just say,
but you know he knows he's gone.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, Dada, come." And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, maybe. I don't know. Like, I don't. He gets over it quickly.
He's
and
2.
Distract him.
Yeah.
But he still notices that he's not here, obviously. But,
so do you feel like loving someone in addiction is different from any other kind of love that you've experienced?
I feel like it would, but it's also, I feel like it's hard because
you know it's not them.
Yeah, and if I stopped loving him, then maybe
he'll die.
Yeah.
That's what you worry about, right?
And it's like, well, maybe if I just push a little bit, he'll be like, "Oh, she really loves me. Okay, well, I'm gonna come
right,
back.
right.
I'll get better." But it's like, I know
that's not how it works.
That's not how it works. But then I'm also like, if I give him the tough love, he'll think nobody likes him,
right?
And then he'll just go and
kill himself. Yeah, or not come home when he feels like he needs to.
Yeah.
How does it feel? Like, do you understand logically that it's not him doing this?
Yeah, part of me understands, but I think it's also frustrating because I've seen him get clean. Like,
right, you know it's possible.
So I know he can, but I know when he's on it, I've seen how negatively it makes people think.
Yeah.
AJ and Dre both thought negatively. Then when they got clean, they're like, wow, that shit really messes with you. And I'm
right.
Like, I'm telling you.
It rewires your fucking brain, opiates,
so
man.
That's what makes it hard because I know it's not him.
Right.
But I'm also like, you've gotten clean.
Yeah.
And I know part of you knows
that it's possible. Yeah. It's for me, hard. it's like he doesn't love himself.
Yeah.
So he doesn't see that he even deserves recovery. He feels like even when he wrote that letter and he says people like me end up in jail or dead, that's how you feel. You're like, my kid is better off without me. Shae's better off without me. I don't have anything to offer. I'm just going to do this until I die. And then when I saw him that day, I was like, oh yeah, he's in that I'm going to die stage.
I even asked if he was like using like needles or anything.
Yeah, I did too. I was like, are you using needles? He was like, never, Mel. He's like, I'll never get that bad. And I'm like, I said the same thing, homie. I said the same thing, homie.
God.
Yeah.
So at the time it was only 2 months.
Yeah.
Now, but I was like,
yeah, and I'm very scared about the infection and
especially after it being MRSA. Somebody else around him was doing really bad in the lobby like 5 days ago with an infection.
Yeah. What do you hold on to most when you think of him, the man that he was before the addiction and who he is now? How he is with the kids.
Yeah, and like how we are together because we got some deep conversations about
his mom was an addict, right? Yeah. Dre's mom was an addict and he was raised by his aunt.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, his mom's really involved now, like
with the kids
and everything.
And she's in recovery and
and so she's worried about him too, probably because she knows.
But she also knows it's possible.
Yeah. So she says, like, she even tries to tell me, she's like, no matter how much you love him, no love can get him clean. And
no.
I just wish you could.
Right? We all do. He
would be clean for a long time.
Yeah.
That's what it took.
Yeah. But we all love Dre. We all want him to come home.
Yeah.
Do you believe he'll ever come back? You really thought he was going to come back the next day, the last time, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It fucking crushed you.
Talking about it makes me sad.
It's good to talk about it, though. It'll help other people because you're not alone. Everybody in the world has been touched by this.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I like to think he'll come back, but I feel like I tell myself he'll come back because then I'll be like this.
If
I tell myself he's not.
Yeah. You've had some really hard days, but you've been doing really well, and we're all really, really proud of you. And I haven't seen you this happy because I know you're having hard days, but when you're out with us, it's like I just seen you struggle with him in active addiction for so long, and it like to see you like that was hard.
Yeah.
It was really hard. So if Dre were listening right now, this is hard. This is really hard. If Dre were listening to you right now, what would you want to say to him?
I did not read these questions.
Sorry. Sorry.
Probably just how much I love him and we miss him.
We all miss him.
And I wish he could see Everly grow up.
Yeah. So yesterday she had told him when he was here, I'm going to start giving her pablum food for the first time. And
yeah, I said on the 20th that I'm going to do it.
Yeah. And so she was very upset yesterday when, you know, he wasn't there and she had to do it alone. And he's missing all these milestones, and she's such a beautiful baby. And yeah,
and
it's
he tries
tough
to say that he tells people about her and he's like, I think about you guys a lot. I'm like, then come home.
Yeah.
But,
I know. What do you wish people understood about being the partner of someone who is lost in fentanyl addiction? That you can't just give up. People expect you to just be like, ew, get rid of that fucking loser.
Yeah, so
and you're like, that loser is the love of my life, and he's sick with a disease, you know?
Yeah, so many people have... Oh, okay, thanks.
Stop! Shut up, Chad. Fuck, you're not involved in this.
So many people have said, like, "We'll just get rid of him. Like, you'll find someone who you deserve or who loves you." And I'm like,
he loves me.
I know he loves me.
Yeah,
at least
he does love you. He loves you to death. You're his world, but he hates himself right now and can't stop using. That's just how the game goes.
And it's also, I feel like one thing is not to blame yourself.
Yeah,
and I blame myself for the last year, thinking, well, if I just gave him tough love, then he wouldn't be like that. But even when I gave him tough love,
he'll just pack up and fucking leave. He'll dip. Yeah.
And I was sitting every ambulance. I'm like, oh,
I know so we live in a co-op with a like the building is like the worst in the city. This high rise that is like off the property. So that's where he's going. And every time we see, because it's like the SWAT, the friggin' forensic unit, ambulances. So every time we see something, we're all like, because we think it's him, you know, like.
That's why I hate when people knock at the door.
Yeah. It's convinced it's going to be the cops.
Like,
yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Saying Dre's gone.
And I cannot.
I know.
Nope.
I know. So where do you find your strength to keep going for yourself and your children?
Honestly, the kids are what
keeps you going.
Keeps me going. Like having you, honestly, I'm so glad. Because I would go crazy.
Yeah, I'm happy I've been able to be there for you through all this.
But it's mostly the kids because I'm all they got.
Yeah.
Their dads are
all gone. Yeah. Yeah.
So they literally have only me.
Yeah.
And I've seen how sad they are even with Dre gone, and that's not even their dad.
Right.
And they can't even visit my mom half the time without calling 75 times a day.
Yeah.
Asking when they can come home.
Yeah.
So I think if I was gone for good, that would destroy all of them.
Absolutely.
Can't do that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and Shae's got a really good mom and a really good sister, and her dad's been a lot more involved lately, and she's got a lot of support. And obviously, me and Cadence and the kids, she's their aunt, and we love her. So we can talk about Joe. I guess we've got some time to talk about Joe.
Sure.
Is there anything else you want to say about Dre or fentanyl or anything like that before we move on?
I feel like, I've seen posts already, so I'm sure people already know, but just, I know people make jokes. I even kind of make jokes sometimes.
Yeah.
But try not to judge people, I guess, because, or like my aunt's one friend that's like, oh, well, he deserved it. He clearly doesn't love them, and
Addicts
I have
choose
no
to be that
remorse.
way. I have no remorse. I wish they would all just
Yeah.
die off. Like, that's wild,
Like, that's still
bro.
somebody's person.
Right?
He's my person.
Right.
I'm like, you're
Right.
technically saying that about my person.
You're a monster. Yeah, I can't with people like that. Even when Jess took those pictures and put them online, like I flipped the fuck out on her, bro, because I was like, you have no fucking clue.
I didn't even know about that.
You can, like, we live in a co-op that is full of drug addicts and, very close to the high rise that is full of drug addicts. And we have a lot of active addiction people that use on the property. And you can talk about how you feel not safe and how you hate to live here and you wish they didn't do that and whatever the fuck. But the minute you take photos of strangers in a mental health crisis and post them online, and then everybody else jumps on the bandwagon and does the fucking same thing, we are not the same. We are not the same. That is not okay in my books. I don't give a fuck. It's cruel.
Yeah.
It's cruel.
Like if somebody posted pictures of like Dre or
that's what I mean, bro. That's what I mean, bro.
I'd get really mad.
And like these same people would come to my recovery party and tell me how proud they are of me and not understand that that's exactly who I was 4 fucking years ago, bro. Mm-hmm. I was in that building. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how can you're a hypocrite. So yeah, is that it for the fentanyl? Move on to beating your wife.
Yes.
Okay. So Joe is your middle daughter's dad, Claire. And how did you guys meet? I don't have questions for this one, so I'm just going to do it off the fly. How'd you meet? Whose friend was he? Anthony's? She did this. So Joe is Ava's dad's friend. And then AJ, they all are friends? Was AJ friends with Joe?
No.
Oh, AJ was friends with Anthony?
So Anthony, Dre, and AJ all met when they were in jail together.
Oh.
AJ and Dre apparently didn't. So Dre didn't really fuck with Anthony because he was just fake idiot.
Yeah.
But AJ and Anthony were more friends than Dre and Anthony were, but Dre still knew Anthony.
Okay.
They were all friends.
Okay, so Joe was friends with Anthony.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did you guys meet? That way? You met that way, obviously? He was a friend of your baby dad's?
Yeah, but I don't even remember how...
You got together?
Like how we became friends, but I just remember the first time I ever really talked to him was to ask him to take me to Aurelia because I was going to Pet Save originally to get a dog.
Of course.
Obviously.
She's Dr. Doolittle for fuck's sakes.
Love it. I love it. But I didn't have a car at the time, and that's when I was first moving out on my own. And he's like, yeah, I'll take you. I didn't end up going, but that's how...
You guys started talking.
We started like actually talking.
Yeah.
I don't remember why the fuck I asked him.
That's weird. Okay, so you guys are together. How long were you together before you had Claire?
She was born, I think, like a month before our 1 year, I think. Because we got together, I think it was November 2018. Oh.
My kid's screaming.
I think it was November 2018, and then she was born October 2019.
We have the same birthday.
Yes.
Me and Claire have the same birthday. And okay, when did the domestic violence start?
When I was pregnant with Claire.
Pregnant with Claire, wow.
Yeah, so
and how did it start?
I think it might have been, like thinking about it, I think it might have been even before I got pregnant with Claire. Or maybe I was like only like a month or two, like I didn't even know yet. Because the first thing was he was upset about something and I went to go give him a hug, trying to like say sorry. And he had gotten mad and turned around and shoved me on the bed. And that's when I was like, oh my God. Because like, I was like, whoa, like I'm just trying to be like a nice fucking person.
Yeah.
I said something that upset you. I'm just trying to give you a hug and say sorry.
And he pushed you on the bed.
Okay. Yeah. And that was the first time. And then it was just.
And what started to happen after that?
Downhill.
What started to happen?
He was still living with his dad at the time. And then I want to say a month or a month and a half later is when he moved in to my apartment. And at first it was kind of good, like he would, but then he started like yelling and name calling. And then he started being mean, like hurting me. Like first he was like pushing me and then hitting me. But then by the time I was
Hitting
like,
you how?
he'd like slap me or yeah, he normally just slapped me at first. I say it like it's just, oh, he just slapped me.
He just slapped me. The fuck?
Me
We're so fucked up, bro. Wow.
But then I think it was by the time I was like 7 months pregnant, I think he started being like actually really mean. Like he'd like punch me, and then it was at Rumble Terrace where I lived. The doors were like those thick like fire doors.
Yeah.
And he like would, one time I went to go leave, but he stopped me and then he opened the door and he squished me, pregnant as fuck,
Oh my god,
between the door and the fucking wall because he was mad.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is wrong with you? But my dumbass, after he said sorry,
of course.
Okay,
Yeah. So then what? How did it progress? Because I know he started to get abusive with the kids too, right?
Yeah, the last like 6 months, I think, is when he started being mean to like Ava and Claire. Because all before that was me.
And the animals.
Oh, and
the animals. We'll talk about that too.
But yeah, the last 6 months was like, because Claire was just learning to walk. She was like a year and a half. So she'd fall and whatever. But one time he got mad. She did something. I don't remember what it was, but he got mad and shoved her in her face at the table. And I got mad. I'm like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, she's a fucking baby. And I'd try and ask his mom, and I'd be like, can you please come pick him up? Like,
get him out of my fucking house. Yeah.
I was like, can you please come get him? She'd ignore me or be like, well, what'd you do?
Oh my god, what a sick fuck. Is this the one that bought him a fake vagina for Christmas? Him and his brother? Yeah, okay. She's a sick fuck. Anyways.
She wants to fuck him.
Yeah, that's fucked up. I've been involved with situations like that. So he broke your fingers, right?
Yeah, he went to, it was his hand. He bit this hand. He broke this one. He went to go punch me, and I went like this, and I don't know how he did it, but I think it was like, I went like this or whatever, and he
hit you,
punched and went like this. And because there was no marks, he let me go to the clinic, and that's when they did an x-ray, and I'm like, oh, it was a football, I want to go catch a football, and it came and hit, and the doctor's like, are you sure? And I'm like, is that my mom's? I caught a football.
Yeah.
And they did an x-ray, and thankfully for that x-ray, they used it against him when he got in trouble.
Right.
But
do you have the article on hand that we can find after to read?
Yes, I'll look it up after.
Okay, so let's talk about the animals.
Well, I had a dog, Tiny, who I had gotten right before I moved to where we are now, so the beginning of 2019. And I loved him. He was my big baby. He loved me, but I don't remember why Joe got mad at him, but he used to get mad at him and he'd go into the garbage and grab like a diaper, and Joe would get mad instead of being like, no, like don't do that, or put him like, he didn't have a cage, but getting a cage and putting him in it or whatever. Yeah. He decided just getting on top of him and beating him in the head would be better.
Yeah.
And apparently, but I think he might have like peed on the floor or something. But then from like our living room to the kitchen, there's like those 5
steps.
He picked up Tiny, but he was full grown by then. He picked him up and threw him down the stairs, but broke his leg. And he wouldn't let me bring him to the vet. I was like, just let me bring him in, like get him looked at, put him in a cast, like something. I'm like, I'm not letting him sit here with a broken leg
and suffer.
But he wouldn't let me. He wouldn't let me do anything. So I had to be Dr. Dolittle a little bit.
Yeah.
And basically pull his leg back and make my own cast at home. And then that's when I had gotten a cage and just put him in there and basically took care of him until he could walk. I literally had to put like a blanket under like his hips and help him walk outside every time he had to pee.
Fucking Christ, he's a monster. He
wouldn't let me bring him anywhere or do anything. I had to fucking be a vet.
Oh my god.
And yeah.
So let's talk about a couple. There's another incident where he threw Claire, right? He was changing her diaper or something, and he fucking threw her like that. And you saw it on the
slammed her, and I recorded it on the.
You saw it on the camera.
Was on my phone, and you just had to press one button and record it. So I got it like last minute because I just had a feeling he was going to do something because he was getting frustrated because I kept going up, and then he went up. So I opened my phone really quick and I just took a video.
Was he abusive with Ava as well, or was it just Claire?
Yeah, he was a bit more abusive with Claire for some reason. I think it was just because Ava's quieter.
Yes,
she's older.
Claire's been hard.
Yeah. But he had he slapped Ava in the face before and slapped her in the chest, and that made me mad, obviously. But it's also that's not even your kid.
Yeah.
He raised her for the first 3 years, or 2.5, whatever. But that's still not. It's like me slapping Emily. I've known her
for 3 years. Yeah. No, that's fucked up, bro.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even neither of us would ever touch our kids. You don't even fucking hardly yell ever. Claire, so to see that, Claire and Emily yell more than we do. Okay, so what was the final straw when it ended up ending? The car incident? Yeah,
it was when I think we're coming back. I don't remember where we're coming back from, but he got mad at me. A few days before that, we're going to his grandma's, and he got mad about my money being in my savings, and I couldn't switch it because my phone died. And he wanted Tim Hortons or something, got mad and punched me and had a bruise from here to here. And I still remember his grandma and everybody oh yeah, look, it's okay, acting like he didn't do it. And at first I was wearing long sleeves, but this was beginning of the end of August, so it was still hot. And I was okay, I'm not walking around in fucking hoodies and long sleeves. I'm they want to know how that. I'm wearing a short sleeve. I'm fucking sweating. Yeah. So I wore a short sleeve, and that's when his grandma's friends were "Oh, what happened?" And she cut me off and said something. I don't remember what it was. But "Oh yeah," made a joke about it, so I wouldn't say, "Oh, it was him." Or her grandson punched me a bunch of times. Yeah. But then the last day he was punching me in the car over something. And a random lady seen it, and she called the cops and followed us home. And then it wasn't until fucking 5 hours later. I could have been dead, but
the cops showed up 5 hours later. Yeah, we called them. They come 3 days later. Fuck.
And and pulling into the parking lot is when I admittedly threw his wallet out of the car when we were pulling into the parking lot. Probably shouldn't have done that, but I was mad because he was just fucking punching me.
Yep. Reactive abuse. Yep.
And then he had spit in my face, and the one neighbor that actually used to live here,
Melissa.
Yeah, her brother seen it, and he was getting mad. That's not how you treat a woman. You're spitting in her face like she's fucking garbage, blah, blah, blah. And he was ready to beat him up. Shit out of him. But Joe's backing up, what are you gonna do? Acting tough as he's backing up. Yeah. And he's I'm in my own yard. You can't come here now. That was embarrassing in itself.
Joe is such a piece of shit.
Argue with an adult. And then they came, and then the cops talked to me, and at first I was
you were no,
nothing. And then he's it's probably the neighbors over there. So then they came to talk to Melissa here, and because they had that random lady's statement and the neighbors here, it was enough for them to charge him with assault once and made him leave. And I originally never said anything because he had me brainwashed, thinking I couldn't do it alone.
Yes, I know.
And then when he left, it was 2 weeks, and I was oh my God. But then the kids and I got into a good routine, and everything was good. My mom was even wow, you guys are good. The house was good. I was good. No yelling. And then I think it was 3 weeks later or something.
You said, fuck this, I'm calling. I was
telling one of my friends about it, and I was oh my God. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And that's when I told the cops everything.
So I'm going to pause it. We're going to find the article, and I'm going to read it. Okay, so Sudbury man's reign of domestic terror ends in 1-year jail sentence. Judge also bans him from owning a pet for 25 years, said home was filled with violence and fear. In a series of attacks, the Sudbury man broke his spouse's finger and scratched her eyeball, assaulting his young daughter twice, and hurt a dog so badly that the dog had to have its leg amputated. In Sudbury court, Henry Deschamps was jailed for a year and lost the right to own a pet for some time. It's quite evident the accused created a home environment for the complainant and children that was filled with violence and fear, said the judge. The facts read in by the Crown and accepted by the accused were very grave and disturbing. The accused abused his intimate partner. Such violence constitutes of a breach of trust. The Crown wanted 14 months of jail, while the defense sought a conditional sentence, or jail for 6 to 8 months. Justice Bradley settled for 1 year in jail, noting the complainant and the children have suffered psychological harm due to the accused's aggravating behavior, and the use of violence toward the complainant was not an isolated occurrence. The judge also imposed a 1-year probation order. He ordered Deshawn to stay away from his former spouse and her children to take treatment as directed, as well as a DNA order, as well as a weapons ban for 5 years. In addition, he said Deshawn cannot own a pet for 25 years. Michelle asked Deshawn, 25, to serve his time at either the OCI in Brampton or the Algoma Treatment and Remand Center in the Sioux to get mental health help. Michael told the court last month that Deshawn had a difficult life and has been diagnosed with ADD and ODD. Like you and everybody else, bro, you fucking bird. I've got ODD. You're like 20 something. Okay, so he had a difficult life. Wah, wah, wah. Justice Bradley agreed to make the recommendation. Uttering a threat to cause death, causing harm and unnecessary pain to a dog, and assaulting his former spouse.
That's all he got charged for. He had 30 charges
and
only had
pleaded 3. Yeah. Who is his lawyer? Dennis?
Michelle,
yeah, he's a plea out fucking goof, bud.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Deshawn apologized to his former spouse, had a prior record and a conviction for uttering threat to cause death conviction in 2018. He received a suspended sentence and 1-year probation. In her victim impact statement, the Crown Attorney Ansel read to the court last month. The victim said she fears for her safety and those of her 2 children. The woman said that she is now dealing with severe anxiety as well as PTSD. The woman also said that Deshawn's behavior impacted her current relationship, as she finds she is extra careful not to upset her boyfriend. She also indicated that her children fear men and may need counseling in the future. Through an agreed statement of facts, the court heard Deshawn and the woman had been in a relationship for just over 3 years and had 1 child together. The woman also had an older child from a previous relationship. On October 6, 2021, the woman went to the Greater Sudbury Police and gave a statement detailing violence Deshawn had inflicted on her, their daughter, and their 2 dogs. In July of 2019, the victim and Deshawn were on Pine Street residence when they got into an argument. The woman, who was about 7 months pregnant, attempted to leave, but Deshawn pinned her between a door. That's crazy, and pushed the door up against her. October 2019, another argument broke out. Deshawn grabbed a pair of scissors, pointed it at the woman, and threatened to kill her. Jesus, fuck.
That's right before... Was that October 2019?
Yeah, that's right.
That's right before Claire was born.
That's crazy, bro. The couple was on Highway 69 towards Sudbury when they argued, and Deshawn punched the woman 6 times, leaving her with bruises and a cut lip. Fuck, shit.
Right in the face.
Fuck, bro. Sometime in October of that year, the couple went to Bruce Avenue, where Deshawn punched and kicked her several times during a fight, bruising her legs and buttocks.
That part was embarrassing. I wish they wouldn't have added that.
On October 31st, 2020, the couple was at the Bruce Avenue residence and they began to argue. The woman put her hands up in fear of Deshawn punching her, and she suffered a hairline fracture to her right finger. Around 7 p.m. on December 18th, 2020, the couple was at the Bruce Avenue residence with their daughter when Deshawn got upset, hit the woman in the face with an open hand. January 2021, the couple was at the Bruce Street residence with their daughter and the woman's dog Piper, a pit bull Roddy mix. He picked up Piper to shoulder weight and shoved her to the ground. Piper suffered a broken femur and had to have the leg amputated. The Ontario Society for Prevention of Cruelty to Animals took the dog. On June 28th, 2021, the couple was at the Bruce Street residence when Deshawn got upset and started to punch the woman. The woman tried to kick Deshawn, but he grabbed her left hand and bit it, piercing the skin and cutting her. In January 2021, he punched her during an argument. The woman threw a shoe. Deshawn then kicked her in the head several times, giving her a minor concussion. In the winter of 2021, the couple and their daughter was at Bruce Street when Deshawn pushed the woman to the floor and kicked her with steel-toed boots. The woman suffered bruises to her body, arms, and legs. Also in winter of 2021, the couple was at the Bruce Street residence when Deshawn punched the woman and shoved her to the floor during an argument. She suffered a sore jaw and bleeding. On February 12th, 2021, the couple was at the Bruce Street residence when the daughter wouldn't sleep. Deschamps picked the daughter up and slammed her into the bed. Fucking monster. On March the 8th, 2021, the couple was at the same residence when Deschamps pushed the woman, causing her to fall and hit her cheekbone on the table. The cheek was bruised. March 11th, 2021, Deschamps scratched the woman's right eye while punching her in the head and neck during a dispute. She also suffered a cut lip. March 25th, 2021, the couple was at the same residence when Deschamps slapped his daughter's face 3 times. That was Ava?
Yeah. And the other one, when it said slapped the woman with an open hand, for some reason put woman, but that was about Ava.
Okay. Fuck. April 23rd, 2021, the couple was at the Bruce Avenue residence when Deschamps pushed the tiny pit bull, punched it several times in the head and spat in the animal's face. What the fuck, bro? 4 days later, Deschamps punched and grabbed at the woman several times, cutting her left cheek during an argument. Deschamps punched the woman again when they got into an argument on April 29th. Sometime in August 2021, the woman attempted to run away from Deschamps and he pushed her into a fence. "I'll shoot you through the right eye, you bitch," he told her, "and your kids are dead." The woman suffered soreness and scratches. September 2021, the couple was in a vehicle southbound on Highway 69 when Deschamps punched the woman in the face and body with his right hand. He said he was going to kill her and bury her in his backyard. September 10th, the couple was in a vehicle on Notre Dame when Deschamps punched the woman several times, bruising her arm. September 2021, the couple was on Bruce Avenue residence when an argument erupted while the woman was on Facebook with her older daughter. Deschamps threatened the daughter.
Yeah, the Facebook thing was when I was on video call with my mom.
Yeah.
And he started talking to her saying, "I'm going to put
your
kill kids in garbage bags. By the time you get here, they're going to be in the basement." To my mom.
Bro, that guy should be under the fucking
jail. And all
jail.
those were only from what I had proof of.
Right.
Because I had like a year of proof before that, but it was on like one of those like secret apps.
Yeah.
And his friends told him, "Oh, well, check if there's secret apps." So I guess he opened every app or something and then found my secret one and deleted it.
Fuck, his friends?
Yeah. Everybody around him
blamed me. Yeah. So Joe's out of jail. Joe did how long? A year?
He was in there for 7.5 months.
And he's out? And you had to let him see the kids.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Yeah.
Like the first time I seen him, he's only seen them twice, but I felt obligated to say yes
because he could take you to court,
yes, or he goes to court,
and you're forced
to see him.
Yeah, because there's no contact order.
Yeah, it was literally the
expired.
day after the no contact order.
He reached out.
He was like, "Hey, I just wanted to see." And I'm like,
yeah.
What the fuck? I wanted to extend it, but they said, "Well, he didn't do anything."
There's nothing to.
I'm like, so he has to basically come in and kill me.
Yeah, pretty much.
Extend it.
Pretty much.
I'm like, okay, perfect, great.
Yeah,
thank you.
And at first, he was being half decent.
Yeah, he was actually
and helping financially.
I was kind of convinced that
he had changed.
Maybe he had changed.
I was too. I was like, don't tell them what I said to do. But yeah, I was like, you should get back together. He's got a fucking car and a good job. But like, no, that went away real quick.
Really fast.
Because when you kind of like. You kind of like shoved his advances. He was like, because he was sending you inappropriate shit.
Yeah, and I was like, hey, wait, you have like a girlfriend, and I'm not.
Yeah, like you just had a baby, and like you beat the shit out of me on multiple occasions and went to jail for it, for fucking hurting our dogs and kids. Like you're a lunatic.
And I'm like, yeah, no, and then.
And it went.
He got mad and threatened court, and I basically was because he knew I told him that I didn't want to go to court originally for Claire's sake,
right?
And he threatened court, so I said, "Fuck it."
So you're going to court. We're going to court. We're going to court. Fuck yeah.
Because
you have nothing to lose.
You clearly don't care about Claire's feelings,
right?
If that's all you're thinking about.
Yeah.
Then you got mad that Claire won't call him. For one, Claire doesn't even talk to my mom on the phone.
Right.
She'll answer, be like, "What do you want?"
Yeah.
And then hang up for after 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you can't get mad. And I'm like, you can't.
She's fucking 6, like
to miss what she never had.
Yeah, exactly.
She was gone just before she was 2, and she's turning 6.
And she's had Dre, like, you know what I mean?
So I'm like, I don't know what you want me to do. I'm not gonna force her to do anything.
No, no. I think going to court and at least getting an order.
Yeah.
Will protect everybody.
Overnights.
Yeah, he was asking for overnights. Like after the second time seeing this kid, like, are you okay, bro?
Right. She doesn't even call him dad.
No, I know she calls him Joe. I know.
And I was like, well, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. So, is there anything else you want to add? either about AJ or Dre or Jerk Off Joe.
Jerk Off Joe.
I like that name.
I don't know.
Is there anything you would like to say to a loved one of an addict or wife of an addict?
I feel like the main thing is just don't blame yourself.
Yeah, I think so too.
I feel like that's what
I think so
sticks
too.
with me a lot.
Yeah.
And I almost said don't give up, but I don't want to say that because then I don't want them to obsess the way I was. But it's also like love them,
yourself,
but love yourself
more.
Yeah. Because it will
eat you alive.
Addiction eats the addict alive,
but it eats the loved ones.
The loved ones up too.
It is a family disease. It's a family disease. Like you weren't making the best choices because you were so in love with him. Like you were letting him do things that you knew weren't safe.
Yeah.
Because you didn't want him to be out there dying. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of women and loved ones of addicts go through that where you're like, what do I do?
Yeah.
At least they're home with me and they're safe. At least I can Narcan them.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? So yeah, it's hard. And I always tell everybody, do not ever give up on the addict in your life. Love them from afar if you have to.
I was about to say that. Sometimes gotta love them from
having boundaries.
It's not gonna
affect you.
Take your life.
Yeah, because it does. It does. It literally does. And all the shit that goes along with it, like the fighting and the violence and all of the stuff, that ends up at your doorstep because of what Dre's doing out there, right? And that's not safe for you. That's not safe for the kids. So yeah, what Shae has went through is very common. There's so many people who have loved ones that are, in and out, in and out, in and out. And I think everybody that's going through it should get counseling.
Oh, yes.
Yes, definitely.
Here, anyways, I wish they had better.
We have no resources. We have no resources for nothing.
Addiction resources here are
shit. Absolute shit. Like, I've literally taken the domestic violence counseling at Cyber Counseling Services like 12 times just because it was some kind of counseling that was free.
Even victim services. They're like, well, do you have domestic violence? And I was like, yeah. And I said it was like in 2021. Oh, it's been too long.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm healed now.
Right? Fucking cocksuckers. Anyways, guys, that was Tales from the Trap. This is my beautiful friend, Shae Lyn McNamara, and we will see you on the next one. Miigwech. Bye-bye.